All right, we're going to start with the nation. IMF, growth coming with Tinubu's economic policies. Airlines to get big boost. Sylvia remains our candidate, says APC. Federal government now to build concrete roads. President directs immediate action plan to combat flooding. General jailed 7 years for stealing $2.1 million and 1.6 billion naira. Social investment may return to presidency, and where 19 others await results in Liberia's poll. Okay, which story are we starting with in?
The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has said that federal government roads will henceforth be constructed with concrete rather than asphalt. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu also approved his proposal, and the minister, told reporters about it yesterday, and he explained that the president was convinced of the advantages in building concrete roads, which the minister said is cheaper and even more durable. The minister also alleged that there are saboteurs in the ministry who are conniving with some contractors to frustrate his plans, and he's vowing to flush them out and hand them over to anti-corruption agencies. He spoke at the villa with the president in Abuja, and he said when the roads are concreted, they will not only lessen demands for foreign exchange by contractors, but also create employment opportunities for thousands of Nigerians. And, alleging that the saboteurs in the ministry were conniving with contractors to use unadulterated bitumen to build roads and inflate the costs of projects. And so he has also advised the contractors that are in the habit of securing up to 20 contracts at the time to stop. They are going to monitor all of this to ensure that they are able to use the proper materials to construct some of these roads. So this is what we have to be looking out for. Now we're going to be having more concrete roads. And he went ahead to talk about all the roads infrastructure that our former President Muhammadu Buhari, inherited, that he had worked on. He spent a lot in the infrastructure, but at the end of the day, found that some of these contractors were going behind to give us less than the quality that was paid for. Going forward now, they are going to monitor the quality to ensure we have concrete roads.
Okay, let me do the major headline. So IMF, there was a meeting in Marrakesh in Morocco, where IMF was saying specifically that Nigeria is on the right path of growth with the bold reforms of the Tinubu administration. They specifically said that they welcome the initial bold reforms because they see them as paving the way towards a stronger and inclusive government. That's the mission chief, Daniel Lai, said the president moved quickly with these vital changes. And also they're saying that the economic counselor who was saying that he was quite optimistic that the reforms will accelerate Nigeria's economic growth. Our minister was also there, Wale Edun. He specifically said that they believe that efficiency in tax collection, payments of due obligations, and cost-effective expenditure will help strengthen the economy. IMF has also just welcomed the reforms our president has taken so far and said that they are optimistic in the coming months, coming years, we'll see a strength in our economic growth.
That's good. So here we have the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development. He met with the airline operators of Nigeria yesterday in Abuja, and they said in the meeting he raised the hopes, of those in the industry. He says that all airlines that comply with set rules will enjoy full support from government. He said that this support will include access to single-digit loans to boost their operations. Also, we had United Nigeria Airlines. It's a new one which has been admitted into the International Air Transport Association family. UNA's admission into IATA was conveyed to the chairman and Chief Executive Prof. Obiora Okonkwo in a letter. So in that meeting, the stakeholders of the AON also, talked about some of the challenges that they face, and they said some of them are foreign exchange, jet A1 fuel, cost of capital and funding options, infrastructure, taxes, fees and charges, as well as some government policies. And they also proposed some of the solutions for these issues. They're looking at for licenses for jet A1 importation and distribution through strategic partnership and immediate review of all industry taxes, fees and charges. Anyways, the minister says that he does not want to operate as a ghost. One of his policies is he operates an open door policy. Whatever challenges that they have, they can reach out to him. And these are things that they will work together to just make sure that that industry, thrives.
All right. Okay. Story in Nation, should we move on? The Punch. Naira plunges to 1,025 kobo per dollar as job losses bloom and factory shut down. NCPC suspends pilgrim to Israel. Lagos contingent returns. Army General jailed 7 years, ordered to refund 3.7 billion naira. 18 parties jostle for 5.4 million votes in Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa. NECO indicts 93 schools for cheating, blacklists 52 supervisors. Inflation to slow Nigeria's growth to 2.9%, says IMF. Senate condemns 2.3 trillion oil theft probe security agent. And flood kills 45, displaces over 170,000 persons in 13 states, says NEMA. Okay, which story are we starting with in Punch?
NECO indicts 93 schools for cheating, blacklists 52 supervisors. Okay, so the NECO released the result yesterday, which showed a record of about 61.60% of candidates who scored 5 credits and above in maths, English, and at least 5 credits. But somehow they also found out that there are 52 supervisors from about 93 schools across the country that had issues of poor supervision, aiding and abetting. I mean, we've been hearing this for a very long time. But the good news is those guys will be invited for questioning, and immediately afterwards, appropriate sanctions would apply. I pray they get just one school. And also, we had about 1,543 candidates with special needs that sat for these exams as well.
We have the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. They said that they had a meeting on Tuesday with the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Emergency Working Group. And they were just talking about the flooding that, there's been experienced by 13 states in our country as a result of the release of water from the Lagdo Dam by the Cameroonian authorities. Sadly, they say 45 persons have died, while 171,545 persons have been displaced, with farmlands and other properties destroyed in affected states. As of October 7th, they said the update is, they give an assessment of the flood situation in Adamawa, and they said it impacted a lot of people and communities. And so they're recommending that all states activate their flood response plans. And also, they're also waiting for other stakeholders to see what sort of support they'll be giving these areas. But also the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Emergency Working Group also needs to be involved in all these emergency situations. As we know, when flooding happens, displacement happens, issues with water, sanitation and hygiene is also an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take the pilgrims. So the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission on Tuesday announced that all pilgrimages to Israel and Jordan will be suspended as a result of the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. The operations head, that's Abu Panachi, was saying that the attacks in Israel University has made it very difficult for them to. I think people are actually paid already for pilgrims, because even my husband was interested in going this December, and he was ready to make plans. Say even if the war ends tomorrow, he's not going again. I said, but it's what.
I wonder how Nigerians go with their full chest.
So anyway, so according to the report, as many of you know, Hamas had attacked Israel on Saturday. About 900 people died instantly, and then since then, Israel has retaliated with bombarding Gaza. And so far, I think I called this report this morning, about 687 have been killed so far. And the war is ongoing. So we're happy that the Nigerians, 310 Nigerians, I know two people that were there. Brown called them, check when I hope you guys are alive, so they're fine. So I'm happy they came in yesterday. 310 of them landed Nigeria yesterday, and they were really excited. I mean, the governor was happy to receive them, and at least they're safe, no issues. But all pilgrimages to Israel currently has been suspended until further notice for obvious reasons. Any other story in Punch?
Yes, I have. Nigerian Employers Consultative Association and Manufacturers are lamenting the falling value of the Naira. And they are warning that if nothing is done, it will lead to shutting down of factories and a lot of people will lose their jobs. So according to the report, said the Naira fell further on Tuesday as it exchanged for the dollar at a parallel market between 1,005 to a dollar and 1,025 to a dollar. And this, continued since the federal government allowed a free float of the national currency against the dollar and the global currencies, which happened in June. So the decline is making manufacturers struggle to get raw materials. And more companies are planning to sack their people, shut down because it's not working. Bureau de change operators too are complaining. Say they get the dollar for like 1,000, sometimes 1,010, and they have to sell for like 1,015, which they don't know when it's going to stop, if it's ever going to come down again. It just keeps, going up. Now, the manufacturers are also saying that, the forex crisis will likely kill many industries. By the time they buy, they are not able to sell. People are not buying because there's no money to buy. And even when they buy, they are not pricing. You're not getting commensurate to what you have put in to manufacture the product. All right, we're also going to break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to move on now quickly to Sun. Tinubu backs Umahi over war against contractors. 5.4 million voters to elect Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa governors. What Tinubu must do to fix Nigeria, says Pastor Ashimolowo. Ogun, Zamfara, Cross River, Adamawa top cholera cases. Bayelsa Guba, Sylvia appeals ruling voiding his candidacy. Kidnapper on the rampage in Nasarawa and Kogi. Subsidy, federal government will soon release 6-month report of revenues, says Ramfak. Anguish as fuel queues increase in Abuja. Okay, which story?
Let me take INEC. They've disclosed that a total number of over 5 million registered voters will exercise their franchise in the forthcoming November 11 off-season governorship elections in 3 states of Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo. INEC also says that it has cleared 16 political party candidates in Bayelsa, 17 in Imo, and 18 parties in Kogi State. It also says that the commission will be organizing a mock accreditation of voters, and they will deploy beavers and IREV. They also are saying that there's a timetable of the schedule of activities that, that will be sent out to the different states. The elections will hold simultaneously in the 3 states, Thursday, October 12th, and it will be, Saturday, October 14, 2023, from 8:30 to 2:30. And they also said that lessons learned from the exercise will also be taken into consideration to ensure a seamless deployment of the beavers and IREF on the election day itself proper. So it's good for Kogi, Bayelsa, and Imo states to be aware that, INEC is doing everything we can. I think yesterday was in the paper that INEC was afraid of some insecurity issues, especially in Kogi State. So I hope that, government is also looking at that so that it does not affect the elections that will hold.
Okay. Talking about insecurity, 4 students of the Nasarawa State University, KEFI, were kidnapped yesterday in the Angwankari area, just after the Benue Cement Company. The incident occurred at approximately 10:30 p.m., leaving the community in distress. The abducted students have been identified as Rahila Hanya, 100-level student of the School of Life Sciences and Technology, Josephine Geshon, 100-level Computer Science Department, Rosemary Samuel, 100-level Department of Business Administration, Goodness Samuel, 100-level Department of Geography. And they said they can't understand the motive behind the abduction of these students. So the Senate Chairman on Security for the Nasarawa State, has spoke up about it, and he expressed concern and anguish over the incident, and he was praying that God would, safeguard and protect them and bring them home. Law enforcers agencies also have been alerted. There's a comprehensive search and rescue operation is on the way to locate and rescue the abducted students. But right now, they don't even know where they are. But we're hoping that they've launched a manhunt already, so we're hoping that they'll be able to get them in no distant time. It's just a painful one.
Any story, son?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Anguish as fuel queues return to Abuja. There's a picture of a very, very long queue. Abuja motorists were tormented on yesterday, when many filling stations shut down due to lack of petrol. This led to queues in few outfits that dispense the community. So areas affected around Kubwa, Zuba, Lugbe, CBD, lots of queues owing to anxiety that the landing cost of petrol has moved all the way to 720 naira per litre. So I think this article interviewed a lot of people. A lot of people were interviewed, and everybody just kept shouting, "I need fuel for school runs. I need fuel for my business. Life is becoming unbearable." But we thought after the removal of fuel subsidy, we shouldn't be back to queues again. So we're hoping that is attended to.
Okay, major headlines. So not just Hurricane Wike is blowing hot and cold, hotter and hotter. We have the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. He's also blowing pretty hot, saying that he has the president's backing to fish out everybody who's frustrating the policy. He calls them the enemies within. They've ganged up to frustrate the policy, and the President Tinubu has given him the go-ahead to resist any blackmail and to do what is right for the benefits of Nigeria. According to him, many of these contractors get 20 projects, but end up just taking maybe implementing just 2 units or putting only 2 or so equipment to site. He said that there are some elements within that are fighting him, who are also benefiting from the system, and that is the greatest problem they have. And he said, I will flush out those elements and take them to ICPC. I'm speaking on his behalf. I'll flush them out and send them to ICPC to handle them, because nobody can hold this country to ransom. So I am giving them the last chance to conform so we can help Mr. President to reset the country. So,
Ms. Morayo, I don't understand your...
Yes, so I was there.
Involvement with Wike.
No, this is not Wike. This is David Umahi. They are really blowing hot.
Umahi is the one that was locked up by...
He was giving Wike vibes.
Striking.
Yes.
Employees, remember?
Yes, lock them out of the...
Blowing hot now.
Okay. And so we have like 3 ministers who are blowing hot. Hurricane Wike, we have Dave Umahi, and we have the interior guy. What's his name? The guy that is the passport guy. Tunji Ojo. Those are the 3 guys we've here. And also the lady, Betty Edu. She's been huffing and puffing. She's going better. So the 4 ministers, we'll be hearing you loud and clear.
Yes.
So we are monitoring, we're watching. Okay. Moving on now to Vanguard. FG holds pilgrimage as Lagos airlifts 310 from Jerusalem. Insecurity will help Nigeria overcome banditry, kidnapping, and Boko Haram, says EU. Bad roads, FG gives contractors 14-day ultimatum. Reps to investigate use of foreign currency as legal tender in Nigeria. NECA to FG begin plans to for minimum wage, actually, a minimum wage review. For FG to cut number of taxes to 9. I didn't forge my certificate, says Atiku. General jailed 7 years by Army Court Martial. And Clark decries deplorable state of roads in South. Okay.
Yeah, the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has called the federal government to set machinery in motion on minimum wage review in accordance with the 2019 Act, advising that the issues of wage increase and business sustainability should be dealt with concurrently. NECA is also saying that we all know that national minimum wage will expire next year, and we have also urged the government to put in place the machinery of the Committee of National Minimum Wage. We should not lose sight of Convention 131, that is the basis for minimum wage setting principle of the International Labour Organization, that's ILO. That is what we have used to arrive at 18,000 Naira national minimum wage, the framework of the minimum wage that was set at 30,000. He says it is a tripartite framework with NECA representing the employers, NLC and TUC representing workers, and Federal Ministry of Labour representing the federal government. So he says this are like the stakeholders in setting up a minimum wage committee, and this is something we need to start before the expiration of the one that we're on right now.
Okay, another story. I think we're going to be wrapping up in Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. Nigerian employer pays over 60 different taxes annually. Death toll hit over 1,800 as Israel-Palestine war reaches day 4. Import volume crashes by 60% at Lagos ports. Jobs may be affected. Contractors in gang up against FG over policy on asphalt. And 5.4 million electorates to vote for Kogi Imubayelsa. Any story in...
Yeah, so the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, NECA, again, has revealed that their members pay up to or over 60 different taxes annually in the course of running their businesses. The Director General of the association, Mr. Adewale Smart Oyerinde, was the one who disclosed this recently in Lagos. And he says the multiplicity of taxes, both legal and illegal, have continue to hinder the growth of businesses and the nation's economy. And he went ahead to, commend the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for constituting a presidential task force on tax reforms. And, that committee, he says, has become very important, and it will go a long way in alleviating the challenge, and it will sort of give the businesses a fresh breath of fresh air. So he says that you think that 60 is just a number, a mere statistics, but what it simply means is that these different contributions you have to make to different government agencies, both legal and illegal, and you are compelled to pay, will actually bring down your business. So he also commended the federal government on the 7.5% value-added tax waiver on diesel. And he said some people have been claiming that the tax waiver is not enough, but he's calculating it based on, we should not calculate it based on isolation, that if somebody is doing like 100,000 diesel, liters of diesel in a month, and you take out 7.5 VAT waiver on that diesel, that's a lot that you are saving the person. So they that are doing volumes understand what this does, and it goes a long way to help people, especially those who rely solely on diesel for their businesses. So I want to see how they can, bring all the taxes together, because this agency is coming to you with this receipt, that agency is coming to you with this receipt. By the time you finish and you calculate your cost of production, everything you're selling, you would barely get anything to continue your business.
Okay, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.